Never slowing, never stopping, pushing forward every hour, every day, every quarter, every year. You don't do it for yourself. You do it for your company, your employees, your community, for all of us. That is why IMA is proud to help ensure the companies that form the backbone of America. Together, we are better. Together, we make a difference. Never slowing, never stopping, pushing forward every hour, every day, every quarter, every year. You don't do it for yourself. You do it for your company, your employees, your community, for all of us. That is why IMA is proud to help ensure the companies that form the backbone of America. Together, we are better. Together, we make a difference.
Friends of the Frontier Conference, we're excited to have you today and to have the opportunity to speak with our friends at the College of Idaho. We will first hear from Bryant Tyler at IMA Financial, our strategic partner and presenting partner of our virtual media days. Bryant, go ahead, and the floor is yours to give a welcome to our friends at the College of Idaho.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Coach, Caden, Tanner, happy to be here. Happy to spend some time with you guys today. As Scott said, on behalf of IMA, we're really excited to be partnering with the Frontier Conference. Just a quick little bit about IMA. So we are one of the largest employee-owned firms in the country, and we take pride in our ability to help higher ed institutions. And so over our time, we've built up a little over 130 colleges and universities that we support and serve through consulting via athletic student health, employee benefits, and their property and casualty insurance. But a lot of people don't know NAIA runs kind of deep with IMA. Our roots run deep together. We have some long-standing relationships with the KCAC and the GPAC. So when we got an opportunity to partner with such a great conference like the Frontier Conference, we thought it was a no-brainer. And so on behalf of everybody at IMA, we're wishing you guys at the College of Idaho a safe, productive year ahead, and we're happy to be a part of this with you.
So much.
Appreciate that, Bryant. Well, without any further ado, Rocky Erickson, the voice of the Frontier Conference, it's your turn to have a productive conversation with our friends at the College of Idaho. Rocky, go ahead.
Thanks, Scott. Welcome to the 2026 Frontier Conference Football Media Day. This is the West Division. Quick notes, Frontier Conference Coaches Poll will be released on Tuesday, August 18th. NAIA National Poll on Monday, August 24th. We head to Caldwell, Idaho, College of Idaho. What an incredible season. A year ago, 11-2, 6-0 in the conference, 6-0 at home, and all the way to the NAIA semifinals, losing to Kaiser 36-27 in his 13th season as the head coach Mike Morosky. And Coach, congratulations on that great season a year ago. Your thoughts on 2025?
Yeah, it's a tribute to our whole program and what we have going, and we got on a run for sure. And the Frontier Conference is no far from an easy conference. I mean, we had so many one-score games, and I think the other coaches are very well aware of that. And we were fortunate to get a little healthier near the end of the year, and we started playing our best football, I believe, the last couple of weeks of the regular season and through the playoffs. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do to make a deep run. And we were close, and it's still, I think, a little disappointing. I think the Caden and Tanner would agree with me that we'd get on a plane today and go play the Kaiser again. So they're tough, and the nation has some great teams, but the Frontier Conference is loaded as usual.
Coach, isn't it true that when you win close games, it's all credit to the head coach. Is that right?
No, no, no. We're all in it together, is what we say. We're all in it together. I got a great coaching staff. I think the players appreciate the coaches, but we and I especially, but all of us especially, really appreciate the players. Uh, the culture that's been created here, I think, again, by us all being in it together, and I think we're at a good, healthy place, well aware that 2025 is over and that this is a new team. I believe that with all my heart. Every team is new, even Caden and Tanner. They've been here a good while, but they're different guys. They got different concerns. Um, they've both been had a few injuries. They have different perspective, and they got a lot to give, and they've given a lot already. But I think, not trying to speak too much for them, but I know that they're very excited about the 2026 season and team.
Coach, tell us about any coaching changes you have in your program.
The biggest one is at the offensive line coach. So we lost our Braden Bale, needed to take another job outside of coaching, which has been difficult and hard, and he did just a great job as a player and coach. I know, very hard for him. There's just something about coaching college football and him at his alma mater here at C of I. We interviewed a few guys, but we hired our center from last year's team, Dawson Packwood. So my coaching staff is getting younger and younger. But I think Dawson is not only a very capable coach. I think he's going to have a great career in the profession. I think he has the right mindset. I think he has the communication ability. I think he's willing to learn, willing to study, all those things. So I'm excited about him. We have two other young coaches, both on the team last year too. Keenan McCabe is coaching with Coach Jewell in our secondary, and we kind of had him pegged early on as this guy's going to be a coach someday. His dad was a longtime NFL scout with the Minnesota Vikings, and who I knew from my days at UC Davis. And Keenan is also going to have a great career in football somewhere, maybe in scouting, maybe in coaching. I'm thrilled that he's coaching with us. And then Tanner Forkner, also from last year's team, will be our running backs coach, and also think he's a real up and comer in the profession. And so it's great to have some new, young, former Yotes. They're excited. They've learned a lot. They know the program. They know me. They know the goals that we aren't into staying the same. We're into growth and empowerment, and they're really going to help us. Then besides that, on the staff, we retain Coach Jewell. Chris Jewell is our defensive coordinator, who's been with me since 2013, and does a great job. And I thought we had a great year, played our best defense last year, especially at crunch time. So he's great and has a great staff. Carlos Marana, our defensive line coach, who played for us at one point. Austin Nelson, our linebackers coach and special teams coordinator, along with Keenan and Coach Jewell himself. And then Brian Taylor's been with us 7 years now as the offensive coordinator. So we have some real stability there, and I love both Coach Jewell and Coach Taylor. They are students of the game. They want to do sound and great stuff, and they push. They push the players to learn, which I love, frankly. And we have a lot of work to do still, but these guys are not just good coaches, in my opinion, great coaches. Then also on the offense, besides Coach Packwood, offensive line, and Coach Forkner as the linebackers coach, we retain our receivers coach, Eric Hernandez, who is also a very, very good coach. Has been with us 3 years now. I think this is third season. And then I coach the tight ends. And then special teams, we kind of do as a committee, and I think we got a chance to be really good there too. That's one of our real focuses, is to get good on those coverage and return teams.
Coach, you brought with us two outstanding players. Introduce them.
First, Caden Young is our quarterback from Emmett High School, just up the road from Caldwell, and he's been in the program now 5 years, and he is as good as we've been at the quarterback position over the years. He is just a different leader from my perspective. He's just a different guy, and I think everybody on the team would understand that. I think he's an excellent player. I think he's maybe one of the best competitors we've ever had, and he is spectacular. I mean, he works on his game. He kind of leads without trying, which I really appreciate. And I think the main thing about leaders is, and Tanner is a great leader too. I'll talk about him in a second. But is there anybody following? And I think that these guys have a following, and they are very impressive young guys. Tanner Steele from Vail, Oregon, that great program over there, Vail High School, and came to us and is a very talented athlete, great safety, and has done some great things for us. And we are talented at the safety position, but he kind of runs the show back there. And I think it's because of his leadership that guys have stepped up like they have. We were able to plug and play in a couple instances last year, and I credit Tanner Steele for that. Again, we believe in leadership on the team, and leaders and emerging leaders. And I think these guys are both into that too, seeing other guys come up and lead. So yeah, Caden Young and Tanner Steele are great young men.
And let's go to Caden Young, quarterback, dual threat quarterback. A year ago, he threw for more than 2,300 yards and 21 touchdowns, and he rushed for over 800 yards, averaging more than 5 yards a carry. Caden, how do you best describe yourself as a quarterback?
I think kind of what Coach Mo just talked about. I see it more of as a leader, being there for the team. There's plenty of stuff that is challenging about playing quarterback, but leading is something that I put a big emphasis on throughout my career, and being able to help guide young players and help control, different output and input from coaches and players, getting the communication sorted. And then as a player, I don't know. I mean, I just like to work hard. I try and get better every day, and hopefully that does the trick.
How good is the Frontier Conference, Caden?
It's competitive every year. You never know what you're getting yourself into until the game's played. It's a fun challenge.
How exciting was that a year ago when your team went so deep into the playoffs?
Yeah, it was exciting. There's a little bit of bittersweet to it for sure, because it's fun to win 11 games, but it's always tough ending your season on a loss. And so we'll try our best to not do that, but we're taking it one day at a time, as we like to do over here.
Tanner, what do you like best about the College of Idaho defense?
It's a cohesive unit, right? I mean, I think that's how all good defenses operate. I mean, every player is just one piece of the machine. We're all working together, and it's that way. It's on the field the same as in the classroom. I mean, we have a classroom, and that's the way we treat it as far as our meetings. Like we're together. We're solving issues. We're like, how can we play faster? How can we solve, this issue with this offense, the way they're presenting it, and we're. Coach Jewell likes to say we have 11 coaches out in the field, and that's the way we try to prepare and try to practice that. We have 11 coaches out there in the field. Everybody knows everyone else's job, and we work together in that way.
Caden, how do you best describe Coach Mike?
I love Coach Mo. I don't know how I describe him, just besides he's probably also as competitive as I am. He pushes all the players. Just about as great as any coach I've ever seen. Just commanding the guys. I mean, when he walks into a team meeting, there's immediate silence. Just the respect that he gets from his players is immense. and just, I mean, admiring him as a man and how he goes about his business is also inspirational.
Scott?
So I'm looking at your stats here, Caden, from this past year. You're a big safety. I'm guessing you like to mix it up a little bit. I'm sorry, not
Tanner.
Caden, Tanner. I meant Tanner. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yes,
You're good.
sir.
Caden likes to mix it up too. I know that, but Tanner,
That applied to either one. That's why I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, dude, Caden probably lowers his head on a few more runs than what the coaches would even want him to. So,
well, you're 6'3". I mean, that's big for playing safety, is it not?
I mean, I've known no difference, but I mean, that's just where I've played. I mean, in high school, it's kind of what I played. I guess in high school is kind of more of a glorified linebacker, but I mean, it's kind of also the way our defense operates is, where everybody's kind of getting in the mix, getting in the box. And, so, we just try to just do our best to use the technique and, be as technically sound as possible and try to use those types of things to our advantage.
If I'm not mistaken, both of you have been part of national semifinal games, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's the mindset this year for College of Idaho football and for those that have your teammates that have been in that position twice now? What's going to be different about this coming season?
I guess just kind of, you mentioned the, previous appearances and things like that. But I mean, first of all, we're focused on the next game, right? I mean, I'll say, just from our past two experiences, I mean, the hardest part is just getting there a lot of the times. In this conference is so competitive and everybody's gunning for each other the whole time. And so, we have lofty goals, but really you got to be kind of more process oriented and just like, it's more about the process. Is how do we get there? It's taking care of the little everyday things and those things, like if you believe and you commit to it, those things, those happen on their own. And I think you just have to be patient. You have to be diligent with, what you're doing every day and working together and, and ideally those things, come about on their own. And of course we want to step further and win 2 more games this year, but just having that patience of knowing that, it's a process and you gotta be detail oriented.
Yeah. And I think there's a little bit of an experience that comes with coming from a season like that, but I wouldn't say any of our guys are hanging their hats on the season that we just had. I think we're all still pretty hungry, and that's a nice trait to have as a team. And from now, we're just focused on kind of our standard and what we can do as an internal group to, make that a reality at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the analogy about process. So process leads to product, and doing the little things. I appreciated that in hearing that from you, Tanner. I could ask you a few more questions, but I know that there's members of the media that would like to ask questions as well. So I'm going to turn the time back to Rocky so that we can hear from members of the media that'd like to speak with Coach and these two fine young men.
Daniel Shepard, go ahead.
Hey guys, Daniel Shepard here with 406 Sports. Coach Morosky talked about it earlier, the one-score games you guys played in last year. What is the secret in your experience to being successful more often than not in those one-score games?
I hope that's true, but we play a lot of close games over the years in the Frontier Conference. So I think it gets back to leadership. It gets back to understanding the situation, understanding that so many times in football, the game turns on 2 or 3 plays, and you just don't know which 2 or 3 plays the game is going to turn on. So it's just incredibly important with your preparation. I mean, I think we prepared well last year, and my focus has been, and to try to focus the coaches and the players, all of us, is it's still all about the will to prepare and being ready for every situation, not being surprised. I think I said last year, it just really struck me. you can't be afraid to fail for sure. If you're afraid of failing, then you're going to tighten up. So there has to be a certain freedom there. So I believe in that too. So that comes from hard work. And I'll just say this about Tanner and Caden, the way they've impacted the program with all they said, which was fantastic. These guys just love football. They love to play. They love the team aspect. Of course, that is football. But they love the game. They love the nuance. They love the detail. They love the particulars. They love it during the season when it's a grind. They're both offered jobs at accounting firms, and so many of our guys are pretty put together in lots of different ways. So that helps, but we try to parlay that into you don't know what 2 or 3 plays the game's going to turn on. So practice is that much more important. Even preparation for practice is very, very important to us. So we don't really talk about it, Daniel, but it's always implicit in everything that we do, that every play matters, of course. Are we ready for those big moments? Those sorts of things.
Absolutely. I was curious if you could share who's back and who you're going to kind of count on up front on your O line this year. You talked about hiring your starting center to be on the coaching staff. Who's replacing some of those guys you lost?
Yeah, we lose 3 tremendous players. Dawson Packwood, our left tackle, got a deal to go to Sam Houston State. Nate McClellan, and we lost our All-American right guard Ashton Patterson. We did get a couple transfers last year, kind of young transfer guys, freshmen, 2 freshmen and a sophomore last year who all played a little bit, and we think they'll be ready. I'm excited about it, but we still have some work to do there. One of my big things that I've talked about with the team is you need a whole team to win in the Frontier Conference. You have to come together and all the different factions. The O-line is the team within a team. I think the key for the Yotes this year is that group. So we have Liam Hayes is coming back. He's played a lot of right tackle for us. Carson Darby started at left guard last year. We moved him to center. Scott Griffith is another tall young man from Alaska. So we got 3 Alaskans on the offensive line. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. 3 tall Alaskans. So that's Liam Hayes, Scott Griffith, and Max Larson, and they're competing for who's going to play left tackle and right tackle. And then Tari Hart, who's came to the States as an exchange student and has been with us now for over a year. He's had a great camp at offensive guard. Then we have some young guys, some true freshmen, and so that's the way we're building. We like the progress we've made, but we need these to have a great next couple of weeks.
And then lastly for me, Coach, I know the NAIA approved the digital wristband usage this year. I'm just curious if you all are participating in that as a team this year.
We are not. We are not. I should say just real quickly though, the great Sid Gilman, for those of you that are as old or older than I am, Sid Gilman was a great coach for the San Diego Chargers in the old AFL days, and he was all about getting the ball to the guys that can do something with it. And I think we got a pretty good group of guys to get the ball to. Caden, as we talked about, is a dual threat guy. We have some great receivers in Travis Mariero, Jace Appleby, the Bozeman Bullet, and Jackson Ames, who had a really good year last year. So we're very experienced there. And then Riley Byington at running back is a very, very good running back. And then 2 guys really emerged later in the season, Trey Gibson and Reich and Echo Hawk. And so we're missing Torrey Watkins, I think, our all-purpose tight end last year, but I think Preston Chamberlain is ready to step up and do some good things for us. And then on defense, we have 9 starters returning, so we're excited about those guys. All the starting safeties. We're losing our boundary corner and our Buck, our defensive end, Matt Iwamizu, but really like Tucker French and Sam Lowings are two of the best players in the country, I believe, at defensive tackle. And we have a bunch of guys to fill in. Pretty darn good depth, wouldn't you guys say? Pretty good depth at most every position on defense. And Kessler Fellman's back at linebacker after missing the whole year. And excited about him. And we're waiting for a couple guys to come back from injuries. Jack Dennis, Willie White, Mason Pretty's back at corner, so we need to find another corner. But we've had it's really a blend of a team. We got a lot of experience, but we really need young guys to step up. And I think there are some young guys really stepping up. One of those guys is Preston Wood. He'll probably play for us somewhere from Cary, Idaho. And then Amari Bluford has had a great camp at corner. So again, we're excited. Elton Saole Sue is back, all-league linebacker last year. So he brings a lot of juice and energy and is just playing better and better. And then we have a great kicker, too, in Josh Horn. So sorry to kind of move beyond your question, but wanted to give those guys a shout-out, too.
That's great info, Coach. Appreciate you sharing that. Thank you.
Stuart, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Hey, guys. Stuart Davis, KCAP Sports here in Helena, Montana. And Coach Morosky, I'll start with you. You get back to the semifinals, and you bring so much talent back. When you come into a season like 2026 and the expectations there, and obviously there's the goal of a national title, not just a Frontier Conference title, how do you manage that? How do you approach that with your team? I know you say process, and you've got to do the little things like John Wooden would teach his guys how to put on a pair of socks. But how do you go through that process and, manage the realistic expectations that you could be playing on that final Saturday in the Frontier Conference or in the NAIA football season?
I think we are trying to resist that with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, to be honest with you. It's, I was reading, somebody sent me this week a clip from Nick Saban talking about playing against Texas A&M one year when they were really good. And he said, fellas, that is rat poison, moose turd pie, and there's nothing there. Whatever we did last year is not going to help us one bit this year. Not one bit. In fact, it could hurt us. So, and I had a group of guys over to my house for dinner and just asked them the same question and really I'll attribute this to Tanner Steele because he really picked up on this. Another one of Coach Saban's things that entitlement is the greatest of all the enemies of greatness. So if we want to be great, we have to avoid feeling entitled. And so Tanner picked up on that and told the whole team one day, we're entitled to absolutely nothing. So we do address it in that sense, but what we're trying to appeal to is the smarts, the logic of our guys. I think it still creeps in and there's no getting away from that. But I do think it's the hard work day after day after day. It's the competitiveness. We do have a deep team. That's what another one of our leaders, Riley Byington, said. He said, no complacency here, Coach. I'm just trying to hold on to my position. I got great players playing behind me. And I think Caden feels that. I think Tanner knows that. I think literally every position. And that's maybe a different spot. We have, I would say, too, the essence of our culture is that the older players teach the younger. And that's not just the scheme, but it's also ethic. It's what it takes to perform under pressure. So there's real value in playing in a round of 16 game, a quarterfinal game against great teams, Morningside and Montana Tech, who we're very familiar with. Those are great teams, great programs. And Kaiser, of course, is a great program. But it's how do you perform when the chips are down, when everything is on the line? And I'm hopeful that will help our preparation. I believe ultimately it's our will to prepare for practice, for Saturday scrimmage, for every step of the way. that's what's going to make the difference for us, and I think can get us past being drawn down by false illusions of it's going to be easy to get back.
And Coach, one more for you before I ask Caden and Tanner their question. Yeah, I've been covering the Frontier Conference now for about 10 years, and one thing I've always noticed about the Yotes is the massive offensive line. And you mentioned the defections, 3 guys that you're having to replace. Is this the biggest turnover? And can you just talk about where you feel? I know you've got guys waiting in the wings. We just don't know their names yet, but where you feel you are with that offensive front.
Yeah, I mentioned a couple of names already, but yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. I mean, I think they've had a good camp. They aren't there, and I think our D line has taken it to them pretty good, but our D line's pretty good. And again, we ask a lot of our guys, and Coach Packwood has stepped right in. So I think they're going to be fine. I think that, and it's not the first time that we've dealt with this. Arguably 2024, excuse me. Yeah, 24. We lost some 4 or 5 year starters, and it was difficult. And I would say that was probably a little more difficult than even this year. So I think we're a little bit better. Everybody knows that's the issue, and those guys are coming together. They're interested in leading the charge, and I'll be anxious to hear what Caden and Tanner say about that. But I think we're where we need to be right now, and need to move forward a little bit more in the next 2 weeks.
And going to Caden and Tanner, guys, when you return so much and you guys are older, experienced players, you're leaders, what is practice like? I mean, are you going at each other? Is there talking? I mean, I know you're a disciplined bunch, but as far as, that's got to be a lot of fun, the way you guys can go at each other, and who's been getting the better of the 2 units so far?
Go first. I'll just start with, I'm so excited to play somebody else, man. That's the whole thing about camp, is that football is such a unique sport in the sense that you're going at somebody so hard, and you're putting, all your effort into it, and they are, and then, you go home, that evening, and you're still friends, right? I mean, Kate and I have been we were roommates for a couple of years. I mean, we would be involved in some of the scuffles, and guys would be like, dude, like, are you guys good? And like, what was that? It's like, yeah, dude, like, we're literally roommates. This guy was in my wedding, like, but it's just, that's just the competitive edge. Cause I want him giving me his best, because I'm trying to get better, and he's going to expect the same from me. And that's just what fall camp is all about. And we're really excited to play somebody else where we're cheering for each other. And I mean, we can't wait.
Yeah, I think just the pure competition that we can build as a team is all for the better, whether it's within your position group or offense going against defense, or whatever drills the coaches have us in. Is as long as we're competing, I think it's a good thing. And yeah, I mean, we get after each other pretty good. I don't know if we're really keeping score. I think hopefully some days the offense gets after the defense a little more, and some days the defense gets after the offense a little more. But yeah, I mean, we just try and compete as hard as we can every day, and as long as we're doing something right, hopefully we're going in the right direction, All
right, last one for me. Tanner, Caden, you've known each other so well. Caden, one word to describe Tanner, and vice versa.
One word to describe Tanner Steele. I don't know if I have one word. I'd say he's just one of the good ones. He's a top dog. He's good to be around. I don't know if I could give one word for Tanner Steele. I don't think one word would do it, but he's one of my best friends. He's fun to be around. Him and his wife are great, so it's been fun getting to know them. And he's one of the good guys.
I'm going to struggle too. I mean, like I already said, we've grown such a relationship since our freshman year. Like I said, we've been roommates. He was in my wedding. I mean, the only way I can really know to describe Caden is, as far as just as a teammate, I mean, we have a Yote Steele Award with the program, right? And that award kind of encompasses everything that embodies the program. And sometimes that's achievement on the field. That's, who you are as a community member on campus, and who you are as a leader. And Caden is one of the youngest guys who have ever won that award. He won that award before he ever even stepped foot on the field as a starter. And I think that was just, I think that just speaks to who he is as a leader, as a player, as a teammate. I mean, he wasn't even, Andy Peters was still here, and this guy was so highly revered by his teammates and by the coaches that he had already won the award. And I think that just speaks to him and the type of person he is.
Thanks, guys. Best of luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart. Coach Mike, best of luck. Tanner, Caden, have fun this year. Stay healthy. And guys, thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of Media Day.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Never slowing, never stopping, pushing forward every hour, every day, every quarter, every year. You don't do it for yourself. You do it for your company, your employees, your community, for all of us. That is why IMA is proud to help ensure the companies that form the backbone of America. Together, we are better. Together, we make a difference.